So, you want to compete in Western Trail? Well, I'm Quinn from KHT Royal Equestrian, and I'm going to show you what exactly is Western Trail. Besides hobby horses, I also show real horses. I'm a multiple top 10 AQHA World Show rider, and one of the classes I show in is called Western Trail, also known as AQHA Trail or Ground Trail. Now, what is Western Trail? According to the AQHA Handbook, the trail class tests the maneuverability of an American quarter horse through an obstacle course. Obstacles include one in which the rider will open, pass through, and close a gate. Scoring is based on the horse's willingness, ease, and grace in navigating the course. The other two mandatory obstacles are riding over at least 4 logs or poles and backing one obstacle. How do you apply that to hobby horses? Well, let's start with proper form and pace. You want your hobby horse's head low and straight, making it look like it's guiding through the course with ease. Its face should never be turned in or bent, and you want to make sure that your horse's head is never too low or never too high. What about pace? Well, you should have flowy movements, having your stride outstretched and reaching for your next step. Always keep in mind is where your feet are at. Trail is about striding and timing. You want every step to be purposeful. Now, let's talk about how you should hold your reins. Unlike English events, your rein should only be held with one hand, which should also be holding the stick. Your other arm will be held up at a 90-degree angle, making a fist. In real horse showing, we call this a horsemanship arm. It allows the rider to show off their ability to guide and ride their horse with little to no contact with the bit. Moving on, let's talk about this year's USHHC Trail Pattern. Now, this may have scared you at first, but fear not, it's quite simple once you understand it. So, as directed, you will walk over the poles, walk the bridge, and continue to walk over the poles. Now, you may ask, what are those little green things with the number 1? That means one stride. If you don't know what a stride is, don't worry, I got you. I will explain it towards the end of the video. Anyways, back to that first maneuver. When you're walking those poles, you want to make sure that you have a collected gait. Your horse's head is low, almost like it's sniffing the poles. You don't want the face touching the ground, and you don't want it to be over dramatic. Now, maneuver 2. Lope left lead over poles. After you get out of those walk poles, you're probably going to wait just a few steps before you lope off. When you do lope off, you want to make sure that you're going to the outside of those lope poles so you can get a nice long stride between them. Now, to maneuver 3. Jog over poles and over half serpentine. Once you break down from the lope to the jog, you're going to jog that curve and into the half box. Maneuver 4, jog right around cone, over serpentine, and continue at the jog. The thing you're really going to want to look out for is how you perform the serpentine. As you can see in the video, she's stepping over the serpentine. Here you can see above from what that will look like. Now, maneuver 5, jog to gate, perform right hand gate. As you can see, you will stop even with that standard, settle, pick up the rope, back to the next standard, settle again, walk over the pole, back up, and put the rope back on the gate. Once you stop and settle, you'll go into maneuver 6, back into shoot. So you'll want to look slightly behind you, look where your feet are, and then you'll back that corner. Maneuver 7, lope left lead over pinwheel. As it's pointed out, it'll be 1 stride, then 2 strides, then 1 stride, then 2 strides, then 1 stride. This is going to earn you a lot of points if you get this striding correct. Maneuver 8, jog triangle serpentine, continue jog. Once you're done loping, which you're going to want to do until you're pretty close to that serpentine, you're going to break to the jog. So, different from the last serpentine, this one is a triangle, so you have to figure out how to maneuver around it. First, you're kind of going to jog straight over those 2 poles, then jog a big loop to the left around the next 2 poles. This might seem a little complicated, but it's very easy. Maneuver 9, jog up to poles, hesitate, walk poles. Similar to maneuver 1, once you have kind of hesitated, you're going to have a collected gait and walk into that box. Maneuver 10. Walk into box, perform right hand turn. So, an AQHA trail turn is a little different from any other turn in any other discipline. What you're going to want to do is kind of find the corners of the box, have a nice speedily turn, and hesitate. Once you walk out of the box, your pattern will be complete and you will no longer be judged. Likely someone will be there to escort you out of the arena so that the next person can start their pattern. Now, like I said earlier, let's talk about striding. So, to explain it easily, striding is basically every time the same foot hits the ground. As you can see in the video, each number represents the stride that is set to the poles. At the top, if you see, it says note, recommended striding only, show your horse to your best ability. Now that is how the poles will be set. If you are a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, you may want to shorten your strides or lengthen your strides. So if you are a little smaller, those lope strides may be 3 strides. If you are a little bigger, those strides may be 1. Trail is all about gracefulness and precision, so as long as you achieve those, it will not matter. Yes, that is all. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helps and clears up some of the questions you had. Best of luck at the championships. Bye!